Welcome back, everyone. We're back at Corner Office Chats. If you're listening to us, you're listening to us from either the Women Who Lead Facebook group community, which we're constantly in and on, and we're interacting with you, or you may be joining us from our Facebook page, 𝐘𝐨𝐦𝐿, or you may be watching us streaming live into YouTube. That's the beauty of this technology. We can be in all over the world if we want to at any time, right? So today, what are we talking about today in Corner Office Chats, Alexis?
We are talking about 3 ways to enhance your relationships at home, at the office, or in your general community. And, relationships really are the lifeblood, right? They're what make life wonderful. And so we really want to make sure that we're spending the time and we're, taking the care to make sure our relationships are full and we're doing our part to maintaining them. So we've got 3 kind of tips, 3 ways that you can enhance your relationships, no matter, what space you're working in.
Yeah. Enhancing relationships, what I'd like to say about that is that we're always in different levels in our relationship, no matter who it is, whether it's in your spouse, whether it's with your children, whether it's with your team. There's always this dance that we do in our relationships, right? Mm-hmm. It's something that we think that we can control, but it really isn't. It's really about how you're connecting with others. And as leaders, as we're growing in our businesses or in our professions, it's really important that we are very not only self-aware, but other-aware in how we're creating that relationship. So really important conversation that we're having today. And I want you guys to stay till the end. We have a special guest that will be joining us that will be talking about the importance of that communication that you have with your children, more so around the teenage years, which is really important because many of you have said that you've got teenagers or maybe even have young ones. It's really important that we have this conversation and build our relationship as the stages in their growth start to happen. So let's move forward with number 1. What is the first way?
Yeah. So the first way to really enhance your relationships is to have that focus on maintaining communication. Oftentimes you're not the only one who's suffering when you have trouble balancing your work and your home life. So letting your work partners know, whether that's your team or your colleagues, letting them know when you need to spend a little extra time with your personal commitments. And then 2, letting your family know when work will be taking up extra time and focus. We think sometimes of balance of those scales, they have to kind of always be like this, but that's not realistic. Sometimes work is going to be, you're going to be in a really busy, really tough season. And sometimes that's going to be your home life, right? So it's about maintaining the quality of time that you're spending in there. And the way to do that is really to make sure that you're in communication with those people, right? Letting them know what is going on. And also when we do that, especially at work, our team, if you're the type of leader that, that kind of that old school, we've said it before, where it's like, you don't bring any personal stuff into work, that's not going to serve you and it's not going to serve your team. When your team knows that you've got something going on at work or at home or in another part of your life, it also maybe, it will allow them to sort of kind of kick their own kind of productivity up, not go to you for everything, and helps them to be a little bit more independent because they know that you've got a full plate already.
Yes, absolutely. And, managing a team myself, Alexis, in the corporate arena I'm very open about my personal life. And I think it's really important. And I know about my team's personal life, what's going on, where they're going on vacation, what are they working on? Maybe there's a death in the family, or maybe somebody's very ill, or whatever's happening. Having that closeness and being in communication with the personal life also allows us to look at how we can help them and support them in their productivity. Mm-hmm. And I've told you before that, and for those of you who don't know, is that part of what I do is to make sure that we stay at a certain level in productivity, or I can see from my dashboard where things are slipping or whatnot. So instead of going to the person and saying, where is this? How is it happening? The first thing I do is is everything okay? Usually you're over here. I notice that things are slipping. What's happening? And you know, you'd be surprised. Sometimes like, oh my God, I've got all this happening, or somebody's dealing with this. And I'm like, not a problem. Let us lean in on us. We can help you. It's not, don't feel insecure about your job. We're here to help you. Over the next few weeks, let us take this off, blah, blah, blah. Let's work on this. And once you get things settled, let us know. We'll get it back on track for you. This is so important as leaders to be in communication with your team so that you know how to balance and do that juggling act and dancing in that what needs to happen. So you always stay in the flow. So cross communication, people understanding, building that team camaraderie. If you want that team synergy, start practicing being really real and allowing your team members to be real with each other as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so important. And not even, you know, having these, you know, open and more open lines of communication allows you to get to know your people, you know, your team members and your family, right? Even more on a deeper level, which can help you, as Mehreen said, like serve and support them. But also, you know, when we're going to talk a little bit about appreciation, but we all like to be appreciated and valued in a different way. And, you know, we're going to talk about teens as well, is that sometimes there's that gap or that disconnect between, you know, what we think they would like, right? And then what they actually would like. And this can transfer into so many different relationships. When you're constantly, and you're upping your communication game, you're learning more and more about those people, those important people in your life. So when it comes to, you know, appreciating them, a birthday, celebrating something with them, having a tough conversation, like all of those things, you know them so much better. You know how to approach it, you know how to start it, you know what is going to incentivize them if you need to. It's all around looking at communication and really making sure that, you know, that is something that's sort of in the forefront of all of your relationships is an absolute game changer, right?
Yeah.
You may think you know each other, but when, you know, maybe you've, you know, your partner, we all change, we all grow constantly. So having these conversations over and over again can help you really enhance those relationships.
Yeah, really great.
Yeah. Number two. So number two is about, you know, we talk a lot about maintaining integrity. And the second, I guess, way or tip we have is to have backups that you can call on when you need to. Because no matter how, you know, how great your planning skills are, no matter how much you think you've thought of everything, sometimes things, you know, a curveball gets thrown at you and, you know, things go awry. So you want to have that advanced planning for someone to back you up that can help you stay on track. So whether this is at work, you have a backup of somebody who knows the ins and outs. If you have to step away from your business, from your work for a day, a week, who knows? You're not kind of the vault that has everything. And when you step away, everything halts, right? I know I've worked for leaders like this, managers like this that don't want to kind of share what they do behind the scenes. But then when they're out of the equation, then it really messes with the rest of the team, with the business, with the progress that we've made. So who is your backup on your team, who kind of knows the ins and outs that could step in if they need to? Same with in your personal life, right? If you've got young kids. I have, you know, as you know, 2 little boys, a new 4-year-old, which is coming with some new adventures and challenges, and a 7-year-old, and they're at different places, right? One's in school, one's not just yet in school, but perfect example. Last week, my very reliable daycare, the wonderful woman that watches my 4-year-old, she had an appendix rupture. And so she's been in the hospital. She's currently in the hospital. And so the 3 days that I know that my little one is not here and I can do all the things, you know, he is here. And so that throws that sort of spanner in the works. But I have a number of different people that I could call on to make sure that I could show up for you now today without little, you know, head in the background all day. Right?
We all know. Yeah. Like when Decky is here, he makes sure his presence is known.
Yes, of course.
Gotta love him. Mohawk and everything. Okay.
So, you know, do you have those people Do you have those strategic supports in place for when things don't stay on track?
Yeah. You know, so having a backup of who you can call on, really think about this, and think about with even your spouse. I'm going to go back to relationship with your spouse. That when you are that driven entrepreneur, that driven leader, it's a very lonely place to be. I mean, those of you who are in it, you know it. It's a very lonely place to be. You're sitting there having to know all the answers, drive the vision, and it's not just in your business, but it's also maintaining being a mother, being a wife, being a daughter, whatever it is, but being friends, you know, all of those other relationships that come into play. And it's not only for yourself, but it's also for your spouse. So when you have a business, you're not the only, although you may be running the business, but your spouse is affected as well. So from my experience, what has been really key for driving the success of our business is making sure I'm staying in communication with my husband. He also works in corporate America, and he also has a rigorous, timeline, like schedule as well. So there are times that we have to communicate, what is it going to look like for you, honey, this week, right? I'm like, I'm doing lives. I got this thing going on, everything. And he's saying, I've got things to do. I don't know if I can handle dinner, or, you know, we've got things that are coming up. Now, we do have 2 teenagers that are now on summer break. So we were like, you know what, let's come up with a plan where they can take care of dinner for a couple of nights. And then I can take care of one night, you take care of one night, and we eat out one night, whatever it is. It's that key communication, like preempting, like what may be coming up, and having backup plans for each other. So if you're not having that communication and really taking the time on a Sunday afternoon or Saturday or whatever that is to have that communication, then you might find that there's more added stress throughout the week, because I thought you were taking care of that. Why don't we have anything for dinner? Why do I have to order today? Why wasn't that taken care of? If you want to be ahead of that and really work as a team at home, then making sure you're communicating and understanding what plans do we have, who's got who, making that backup so that everyone is working together as a team. I always tell my kids that we are a team. We maintain this home to be the way it runs as a team. It may not always work. When my daughter's having her SATs, we have to step it up so she's got her time. When I have my, lives or whatever going on, they step it up to help. And when my husband has things going on, he's actually going to be, gone for a few days. So we have to step it up and make sure that everything is taken care of. Somebody will have to take out the trash. Oh my God, we'll be okay. We will be okay. But that's what it is. When we're talking, you'll hear this a lot when we're talking about team. We're not just talking about your team in your business or in your workplace. We're also talking about in your home and in your community. So having that backup plan is super important. So number 3, I like this one. Prepare in advance the experience you want to create with others. Alexis, let me get that down.
We talk about this often, right? Setting that intention before you go into the conversation, into a communication or a situation with other people. This is so key, and this is really what sets those, when we talk about high achiever versus high performer. This is one of those key things, this intention piece that sets them apart. When you think about before you go into a team meeting, before you chat with your kids or your spouse, how do you want the other person to feel after the encounter, right? Do you want them to leave feeling loved and supported? Do you want them to feel acknowledged, right? Do you want them to feel appreciated for something? Do you want them to understand a particular emotion that you're going through, right? So when you are really preparing this in advance and you're thinking about, how you might say it, the actual words you may say to the person, this helps you kind of like role play it out. And then when you're in there, sometimes, have you ever said anything and then after you're like, that's not what I meant, or that didn't come out right? Right? Have you ever had those conversations, especially maybe with your partner, right? When you just take a couple of minutes before and you think about what it is that you're going to say, you have less and less of those situations, right? Because you're actually thinking about it. And when the way they feel is at the center of the communication, it's a very, very different experience for everybody involved.
Yes. So it's that intentional, right? We're going into being very intentional that what experience you want to create. And that's also in the team space, right? In your workplace. If you haven't actually already taken a step back for 2 minutes and thought about how do you want to leave everybody, then you've already missed the boat. You've already missed connecting with others. You've already missed not getting people on the same page with your vision as a leader, right? Mm-hmm. So you want to always make sure that how is it that I'm going to show up? How is it that I'm going to leave everyone? It's not only with your spouse and your children, we're also talking about with your team. When you start to really master this, and this is what CEOs, these high performing people are doing, this is what they master, is how they're going to leave others. You may encounter people who are irate or who are very emotional in the way that they speak. And you can imagine how it leaves you feeling. That's not how you want to show up, right? So really be very intentional. When you step away, how do you want them speaking of you? How do you want to influence them? How do you want them to respect you? And this is really going to deepen your relationships with them. You'll have this more deepened respect and influence and inspiring others to keep moving forward in the vision that you're creating as a leader. Mm-hmm. All right. So we've talked about 3 different ways that we can enhance our relationships. And the first one was maintain communication. Number 2 was have backups who you can call on. And number 3 was prepare in advance the experience. Now, if you missed some of it, you're just joining, please go back and listen to those. And for those who've listened all the way, I'm glad that you're still here. We have a special guest that's going to talk even further about what it is. Lillian Baudouin is in backstage. We're going to bring her on, and she's going to talk about relationships with our children, what that would look like. Let me bring her on. Hello, Lillian. How are you?
Hi, ladies. I'm great, and I'm happy to be here. Thank you so much for the invite. I'm honored.
Yeah, we're so excited to have you. Please, for the listeners that are out there, please introduce yourself. Tell us a little about with who you are, what is it that you do, and then we'll walk into a little bit on your expertise and what you can share with the audience today.
Okay, thank you so much. Well, my name is Lillian Baudouin. I'm a professional certified life and wellness coach. I've been coaching now for over 11 years and working full time at the federal government here in Canada as well, 37 years. I just retired 2 weeks ago. I'm feeling sonic. I love it. Okay, I love it. Yes. My big plan for my retirement is very easy. I'm going to sleep as much as I can, if I can, okay? While I'm running my business, of course. Okay?
Please do.
Yeah, because us women, we seem to do it all, right? Mm-hmm. So I've been, I'm an author as well. I've got 2 books, a children's book that has just came out on Amazon and Kindle, as well as a parenting rescue guide. Come on, guys, we all need it.
Parenting rescue guide. Please come rescue me. I got 2 teenagers.
I just wish I had all this information when I was raising my kids, because I'm telling you, it was a wild journey. I loved it, but it was a wild journey. 2 girls, right? So first and foremost, I'm a mom of 2 daughters. And a grandma of 3 kids. So I'm 62.
I have 2 daughters. Yes.
Yeah. It's been awesome. I'm very proud of the women and the moms they've turned out to be. Super. You know what? All families have our struggles. And I have to tell you, nothing is more important than building the relationship with your kids. That's why I'm so happy to be on this discussion with you, because it's very dear and close to my heart. Building strong, trustful, and mostly respectful relationships with your kids is everything. You can have the most perfect job. You can have the best intentions. You can have whatever is going out there in your life, and there's a lot going on, okay? And we know that because we're trying as women and as moms to juggle everything. We'll never be perfect. We will never be perfect. And we don't ever have to deal with guilt, because a lot of us moms, us working moms especially, we're dealing a lot with guilt because we feel that we're not spending enough time with our family or our spouses or our other extended family. So I think the key, and you've touched a lot on the importance of having a support, having that support, a backup plan. So, you know, the old saying about, you know, when you're raising a child, it takes a village. It is so true. It is so true. Your community is there. There's people around that community that you trust and respect. Make sure that they know what's going on in your life and ask them for help when you need that help. Okay, because we're off in all different directions. The last thing you want is to have neglected your children when I know you want to be there with them all the time. It's very easy to get caught up in everything else. So building that relationship with your own internal, immediate family is imperative. Okay, so a lot of the moms right now, the kids are at home. Oh, mother of God.
Alexis, I hear
God,
you. I'm right there.
yeah, God bless you all is all I can say. It's a struggle. It's they challenge you quite a bit. Young little ones, when they're running all over the place and you're trying to run your business and you're on these calls and these videos and you're like, oh my God, they just flew by. The dog has this one's pants, underwear is out on the floor. Oh my God. Okay. I understand that. And moms understand that.
I think she knows you, Alexis.
I think she's like, yeah.
I think she's been watching you.
So listen, we're not alone. All of us are going through the same thing. Okay, some of our kids are little wee ones, while others are the teenagers. Another, you know, very interesting breed of children. Okay, we've all been there. We know what it's like. I wasn't the best kid that my mom could have dreamed of having, you know, when it came to behavior. I was a little bit of a rebel, still am. Actually, still am. It sort of kind of made me the woman I am today. Okay. But you know what? It can be challenging. And teenagers, either they're going to love you 1 minute, but they'll hate you the next. You can count on it. Oh, yeah.
It's like a box of chocolates. You just don't know what you're going to get.
Exactly.
Who are you today? You know,
Exactly.
they're loving on me. Next minute, I hate you, Mom. You don't go. You know,
Yeah.
I know you said that you didn't give birth to ruin our life, but you ruined my life. I'm like,
yeah, exactly. So you know what? There'll come a time when they don't want to look at you. They don't want to be caught dead being with their mom at the mall or walking the streets. So help me God, no. Somebody might see them, right? So, and you know what? In teenager, in that stage of your life, not all the connections are there in their little brains, right? They're just developing, and they're not fully developed till they're 25. So we have to be their anchor. We have to be their radar. We have to still protect them, whether they want us to or not. We still have to guide them and direct them, whether they want us to or not. And they're going to roll their eyes, but keep on talking to them. Keep on building that conversation, that trust, and that respect. The kids don't want to be, those teenagers don't want to be treated like children, okay? We need to talk to them like they're little adults, all right?
Yeah.
We need to give them roles and responsibilities and help them to understand what that is within the family. Okay, because mom is not the only one that should be doing the cooking and the cleaning and the running and the flying and the this and the that and the garbage and right?
Yeah.
No,
I 100% agree. And we've got them on a routine. Summertime's here. You guys each pick a day of the week that you're going to cook. You know, we also this time around I ordered from HelloFresh. So I'm like, no excuse. We've got all the ingredients. You guys can make the dinner, right?
Absolutely. My God, these are life skills that they need. Okay.
Absolutely. So, you know, I'm so glad you said that, Lillian. You know, some parents have judged me for having them do so many chores and so many things. And I said, look, I'm a working mom. I have a business. I have a job.
Yeah.
My husband also has a job, and my career is important to me. Okay, it is important to. They're going to go, and I need something there. Not that I need. I know that there's more for me to do, and they're well taken care of. Okay, they're very well taken care of. Alexis knows, and it's very important for me that they do their laundry. They have rotation on doing the dishes. That they, you know, we do have a housekeeper, but they don't go in their rooms. They only clean their bathroom once a month. The other cycle, they have to do it themselves. And and they're like, why do we have to do this? I said, because I didn't always have this. And I don't know, you're going to go off to college. You will have to do this on your own. I am not taking care of your household and mine at the same time. So what's going to happen is you're going to be in a whole new area, a new stress of having to take care of everything. And now that you know how to take care of your own meals, how to do your laundry, how to clean up your room, how to clean your bathroom, you won't have to worry about that. That's going to be automatic. Thank you, Mom, for teaching me.
Yes.
And you can focus on the other things that you'll have to worry about, paying bills, you know, being in class on time because Mom's not going to wake you up or Dad's not going to wake you up. You know what I mean? Like all those other things that you're going to have to worry about, you know? So, and I tell them they don't like it. I don't care.
Yes. Exactly. You know what? We have a it's the hardest job that we'll ever have in our lifetime, but it's the most important. So later on in life, when those children go off to college or off to wherever they're going to be after high school, okay, if you can actually say to yourself, you know what? I did my very best. I taught them how to be independent, beautiful, kind, compassionate people. Okay, the rest is up to them. But we've done a great job. We continue to do a great job. And oh my God, you deserve a pat on the back because these kids need roles and responsibilities. They need to understand where they fit in the family. Okay. And the more you teach them how to be independent and strong, the better their life is going to be. And when they get married or start going out with their partners are going to love you and kiss you and hug you and say, thank you, Mom. Okay. And that's super important. So the responsibilities that you have with your children, the important thing is the connection. It's the conversation. So communication, absolutely, absolutely. Trust and respect. And those are the key things that you need to keep close to your heart and teach your children well. And they're going to be awesome, awesome people. I can't wait to see what they're going to do in their lifetime.
Same here. It's a little scary, but I have trust in the universe. I have trust in my children. And I know that they may not want to hear what they have to hear from us, but I know that they're listening because at times I hear them having the conversations either with their friends or with each other. And that makes me feel good. You know, that makes me feel good that they are listening and they're going to make mistakes. I want them to know that they can always come to me or my husband. And, you know, those times when they don't like me, that's when I go lean on my husband. I was like, you have to be their best friend because right now one of us is going to die between them. I was like, so I got to step away. So you need to be their best friend.
Yes. And that's great. If you have a tag team like that as parents, that's even better. That's more awesome. Like a lot of us women out there, we didn't have that tag team. Okay. We didn't have the tag partner. So it was very, very strong. But when you have a tag team, and even if that's somebody from the community or another relation, another family member, hey, that's what you need. You need that support. You spoke about that earlier, ladies, and that support out there externally from your immediate family is awesome because you're going to need it. It's important. And these kids are going to grow up later on and they're going to be responsible and accountable, and they're going to run their businesses and run their jobs and like pros. Okay. And that's because of the great foundation that moms and dads have given these kids.
Yes. Thank you so much for sharing that. The key things that you mentioned is responsibility, respect, and trust.
Yes.
Those three things. And that starts at a very young age. You know, you can look it up. And you know what? If the audience here wanted to learn more about what you teach and get your guidance as you've already gone through it, right?
Yes. Oh, yes.
How can they find you on social media and how can they reach out to you?
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you for that. Yes. So that, you're welcome to jump on board. I have a Facebook group, of course, Coaching Parents to Success. Just give it a search and you'll jump right in. Please join the party. There's hundreds and hundreds of moms going through the same struggles, challenges, and celebrations. We celebrate together as well, the achievements of our children as well. So my Facebook page, again, the group is Coaching Parents to Success. And my website is coachingparentstosuccess.ca because I'm Canadian. But if you hit the .com, it'll still go in the same place because we're neighbors and we love yous. Yeah, and if you want to email me and request a free book, free digital ebook, it's called Help, My Teens Are Driving Me Crazy. Okay. It's a parent rescue guide, okay, for moms and dads, parents, actually. So whether you're a guardian or a parent or whatever, you need some help with your teenager, that's the book to have because it's packed full of value, strategies on how to solve the craziest problems, the craziest challenges with your teens. So email me for that free book and I will make sure you get it. So email me at Lillian@coachingparentstosuccess.com.
Awesome.
Okay.
And Lillian, you do work with out of control, like with parents with out of control teens. That's also your expertise, right? So parents are really struggling.
Yeah, sorry. So coaching parents, especially coaching moms who are struggling with their teenagers, out of control behavior is my specialty. Okay. And we can all use some help. So if you're looking for that help and assistance and some fine points, get a hold of me. I've just given you 3 different paths to get to me. And I really, really appreciate you guys having me on board. So if you have any questions, hey, you know how to get a hold of me. Thank you, ladies, so much. You guys are awesome.
Thank you so much. You are much needed. You're much needed so that the moms can keep their sanity, the children survive, and they don't get killed by their parents, right?
Yes, yes, yes. That is the
right.
goal. That is the goal.
Or vice versa, right? So, no, thank you so much. So I put it in the banner here. We've got Coaching Parents to Success is where how they can Google and find you on social media, anywhere. Yeah. Your book is Help, My Teens Are Driving Me Crazy. And if you'd like a free copy of that, then you want to email Lillian at coachingparentstosuccess.com. Did I get all that right?
Yes.
I got it.
You are awesome, girl.
No, thank you. All right. Thank you so much for joining us today. Really powerful stuff. I think we will have you on again. I really enjoyed it. I've got teenage daughters and really I'm in it. I'm in it. Right. I've got a 15-year-old and 18-year-old. So God help me.
Awesome. You're blessed.
Thank you so much. Have a great afternoon, everyone. That's it for Corner Office Chats. We will see you all again same time next week at 1:30 Eastern, Thursday in Women Who Lead group, our Facebook group, Goal Set Coach, and our live streaming in our YouTube channel, Goal Set Coach. Thanks again. Thanks again, Lillian. Thank you, Alexis.
Awesome. Take care.